powerful group of editors, reporters all over. As I said, my name is Consolata Chibalonza, and here is what we have for you. News making headlines everywhere. There is political unrest brewing over the newly passed affordable housing bill, sparking intense debates and vows from the Resolution Coalition to either challenge the law in court or protest against it. At the heart of the dispute is significant dissatisfaction with the process and content of the bill, which, according to opposition leaders, was passed in Parliament without considering amendments. Elected MPs John Mbadi and Otieno Amolo expressed concerns about the rushed drafting of the bill and its implication for Kenyans. Taxation on gross income and controversies surrounding housing distribution were highlighted as crucial issues.
We say housing is not an issue of concern to Kenyans. Kenyans have serious things ranging from unemployment, high cost of living, to high cost of education that should be discussed on the floor of the Parliament. Housing is a private good that should be left to Kenyans to decide on their own by providing jobs and letting them build their own houses. The government's role is to create an enabling environment so that Kenyans can...
They were told that projects that are going on in their constituencies will be stopped by the executive. Some of them told me they were called by executive members, senior executive members like PSS and ministers from the counties they come from. But if you are going to threaten them, intimidate them, they are people who are taxpayers. Taking development to members of parliament, areas represented by Azimio, is not a favor, it's a right. They are constituents, people also pay taxes, just like the constituents members of Kenya Kwanza pay taxes. So today I was really shocked because I wanted to de-whip some of them, but some of them came crying on their knees and told me, my friend, I had a project going on in my constituency and I got a phone call the previous day and I was told, if you don't vote in this manner, we are going to stop that project in your constituency. I told him, stand up, don't worry, go and serve your people, but next time, don't listen to that because we are going to make it very clear to the Kenyans that it is your right to get development and it is your right to be served with your taxes.
That is as important as it is, fast-tracked within 3 days, is a matter of national concern. And for those of you who will watch, you will see that all of us members here who were present yesterday during the second reading were denied the opportunity. I was the only one allowed by the Speaker to speak because I had made a special intervention, so that the voices of all of us who are here, the voices of their constituents, has not been heard. The second problem with the bill is that it's coming at a time that there was a court case that had declared the previous provisions within the Public Finance Act.
Now, the Chief Justice Martha Koome criticized the government for failing to obey court orders and demanded respect from all government bodies. She emphasized the rule of law and democracy as national values and principles. The Chief Justice stated that the judiciary would cooperate with other government agencies based on interdependence while preserving its independence. She also warned judiciary officials against being subjected to the slippery slope of compromising their integrity in their profession.
Judiciary will collaborate and work with other arms of government in the spirit of interdependence, reciprocation. However, the other arms of government must also respect the independence of the judiciary. There shall be more interaction between the judiciary and other arms of government to communicate the needs of the judiciary without interfering with the independence of the judiciary in the spirit of cooperative dialogue.
Now, the Kenya Medical Suppliers Authority, also known as KEMSA, has called for the resignation of Acting Director Gilbert Mamati to allow investigations into irregular procurement practices. Board Chair Irungu Nyakera announced changes in the procurement department, including the hiring of a new procurement director.
The report about 2 weeks ago, and the tender is one that then pointed at a few irregularities. Yeah, that like the ones you are saying, a company that had not passed even the opening stage because they did not paginate getting an award. In light of the results of the audit and with a view to mitigate them, the acting director in procurement department was requested to step aside to independently respond to the audit queries that were raised. Secondly, several staff in the procurement department were reshuffled with an emphasis on those who had stayed at one station longest in a bid to infuse fresh thinking and rejuvenation of departments in.
Today, the autopsy report of world record holder Kelvin Kiptum was officially released by government chief pathologist Johansen Oduor. Kiptum lost his life on the 11th of this month in a road accident on Ravine Highway alongside his coach. Kiptum's burial arrangements are still underway in Elgeyo Marakwet County. Oduor stated that besides head injuries, Kiptum also suffered severe rib and spinal injuries. Kiptum's body is expected to be buried on Friday at his home, an event that is expected to see the attendance of the President of the Republic of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto. His coach's body was buried in Rwanda today, and the burial ceremony was attended by Sports CS Ababu Namwamba.
So I'm through the postmortem of the body of the late Kelvin Kiptum. Kelvin was a 24-year-old gentleman who it was alleged that he was involved in a fatal motor vehicle accident. Following the allegations, there were so many issues that led us to come here and perform the postmortem to find out what happened. So upon doing the postmortem, the finding was as follows. First of all, what we found that the late Kelvin had severe head injuries. There were severe skull fractures, which were mainly at the base of the skull. The spinal cord had intruded into the cranial cavity because of the fractures. Further to that, there were some fractures on the ribs, both sides. On the left side, the first, second, and third rib were fractured, and on the right side, the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and seventh ribs were fractured. There are also what is called contusions on the lungs, meaning that there were also injuries to the lungs. So what actually killed the late Kelvin was severe head injuries, which when I look at them, they look more of something which was caused by a motor vehicle accident. That is all. We've taken samples for further analysis because the circumstance of the death is still being investigated. So there are some samples will be taken which will undergo what is called a full toxicological analysis. So you can see that whether there was anything that could have contributed to is being involved in the motor vehicle accident. Yes.
There were no indications of suffocation and burning.
As I said, there was severe head injury. Yes.
You are saying the further sample, what kind of other details?
What we are doing is to do what is called toxicological analysis. Being that this is a person who was driving, then suddenly he got an accident and passed on. So our question is, what could have contributed to this? Was there something in the system which could have contributed to this? That's why we've taken samples for further analysis.
Indeed, may their souls rest in peace. ODM leaders from Kakamega County are now pressuring Deputy Party Leader Wycliffe Oparanya to take over the party leadership after the leader Raila Odinga announced his intention to vie for the chairmanship of the African Union Commission. Speaking to journalists in Kakamega under the leadership of Branch Director Owen Musoma, they dismissed claims that the party would lose direction after Odinga's departure. He also urged ODM's Deputy Party Leader Hassan Joho to support Oparanya's leadership due to his experience and leadership skills.
Mzee Oparanya amekaa na chama, amekufa na chama kwa shida na raha. Hata wakati tulinyang'anywa ushindi wa nchi hii, Oparanya ndio pekee yake alibaki na mzee, na amekuwa akitembea na mzee Kenya mzima wakifanya chama kuwa kiendelee. Kwa hivyo sisi tunasema wakati mzee wetu Raila anaenda huko juu, Oparanya abaki hapa Kenya akitulindia chama.
Ambaye pia sio muoga. Ametufaitia 2023 ambaye njaa ilikuwa naua watu. Ruto aliongeza usuru kwa sisi, amekamatwa, ameteseka na sisi. Hiyo ndio sababu tunaomba Wycliffe Oparanya anatosha hiyo kiti. Na hii kiti atutumi ya kwamba Wycliffe Oparanya chukue ya kwamba hii chama ni ya Wajaluo peke yao. Hii chama ni ya Kenya mzima. Wycliffe Oparanya amesaidia Turukana, wa Kikuyu, Wajaluo, Waluya, Wanandi. Ndio sababu tumesema deputy mwenzake mwingine alikuwa amepotea. Juzi nimemuona tu kama anajitokeza akisikia baba anataka kuenda ng'ambo. Yeye akuwe deputy wa deputy ya Oparanya. Hivyo ndio sisi wote tunaomba hivyo, kama wajua kali, watu wa kufanya biashara, ambaye kwa sababu chama ya ODM ndio mtetezi ya wanyonge.
Odhiambo ama Odhis Tosha, mimi ni mwenyekiti wa ODM kutoka huko Matungu. Sisi baba tunakupenda, tunasema uende, na ikifika 2027 tunakuomba urudi, ukue kwa ballot paper, watu wa Kenya bado wanakupenda. Jambo la pili, kama watu wa Western, tunaomba mandugu zetu wenye wako kwa ODM, baba anapoenda, tunaomba Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya akuwe party leader wa chama cha ODM, kwa sababu yeye amekula tear gas na baba, yeye ameshikwa kwa sababu ya baba, yeye ameng'ang'ania hii Kenya akisema lazima demokrasia ikue. Hatukuona watu wengine waking'ang'ana na baba. Na baba unapoenda, ule mtu mwenye anaweza linda watu wako wa chama hapa Kenya wa ODM ni Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya.
The leader of Azimio and ODM party leader Raila Odinga continues to receive support from leaders and members of ODM to vie for the position of chairman of the African Union. Speaking in Diani Kwale, ODM leaders said this move would strengthen their leaders' capacity for the appointment, which they believe would also position Raila for the presidency in 2027 through the nomination process. They commended Kenya Kwanza for supporting Raila's bid for the AU Commission chairmanship.
Hajabwaga Azimio, ni kazi tu kwa muda, na atarudi hapa tuchape kazi ya uraisi kama kawaida. Lakini pongeza UDA kwa kusapoti baba kwa hiyo kiti. Jazi ya hisani ni kurudisha hisani. Ikiwa UDA yenyewe imeona anayefaa hicho kiti Kenya nzima ni baba, si uraisi huu washampatia tayari? Uchaguzi unaokuja itakuwa ni clean sweep kutoka governor, senator, women rep, wabunge wote wanne, MCAs 20 itakuwa ni wa ODM.
Na tunataka kuambia wale wenzetu ambao walikuwa wanasema ODM imekufa Kwale, tuambie kwamba ODM iko imara, na kwa huu uchaguzi wa chairman unaokuja utadhihirisha kwamba ODM Kwale iko imara zaidi. Ningependa watu washirikiane, watu wote wa ODM tushikamane, tupambane kwa sababu
It is the 21st of February 2024, and every Wednesday we have Know Your Law. And that just like every other Wednesday, this Wednesday is no different. Today we tackle the issue of employment. What exactly do you need before you get employed? Who is the right person to employ you? Is the discussion we started last Wednesday, and we're still continuing. Now, last Wednesday we were able to say you need to be working under a contract. And now once you have the contract sorted out, what exactly are the rights of the employee? What exactly are the rights of the employers? And what then, in case you lose your job, what actions can you take? What happens then from that point? With me will be Wakili Philip Matata, who will be joining me today for that discussion. I do hope you're ready. Get your paper and pen and questions ready for this segment of Know Your Law.